In previous tutorial, I told you how we created everything. So this is basically book DAO I already created, and this is inside the DAO method, and it's very simple. And this is book DAO method. So it is similar to a librarian DAO, but it's required some book DAO part I already created. In this tutorial, I'm going to create some servlets and all part, and in the next tutorial, I'm going to deploy this on the server. So let us create how we can create the servlet. So let me close this part first. Okay, so now what is required methods we need here? Let us see. First is add book, because we need to add some book here. So let me create one servlet, which is basically add book inside servlet. Next deployment, yes. So let me close this part. So it will create me some default things here. Let me close this. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to import some exceptions and everything here first. These are two different libraries I'm using. Now I'm importing some methods here, which is basically bin and DAO. So I'm importing beans dot star, and I'm importing DAO dot star. So it will ask me for every method inside that package. So no need to add it again and again. Let me create one annotation here, because I mentioned here, and wait a minute, because servlets dot. Okay. So we are done with this. Now let me add some methods here. So this is our admin book librarian part. So as you can see, this is done, but we need to create some more methods also, which is basically add book form and everything. So we will create it later. We are now focusing with this only. So this is basically I'm creating print writer statements and everything, and this is all about HTML. And this is dispatcher, and I'm including this part. So what is doing this? It is asking call number, call, and all these parameters with that form name, add book. Then book is saved successfully if this is done, and save into the bin part. Add book form else, that's else statements, and it will print that, and it will be redirect to that part. So this is add book dot java. Let me create one another thing, which is basically add book form. We haven't created add book form method here. Why it is required? Because we created admin login. Similarly, we need to create this part also. Add book form first. Then close this. Why I'm just copy pasting the codes? Basically because due to time constraint, I don't want to focus on that part. I'm going to focus on the simpler things here first. So let me import some libraries, default libraries. Then let me import some DAO dot star, because I'm going to mention that part also here. Then let me create one annotation here first, and let me add some default things again. So this is all about this thing, and inside this, so let's okay. So now we are done with add book form, but we need to create some HTML files. In the next tutorial, I'm going to tell you how we are going to create the HTML files. So this is all about this add book form. So this is add book, but add book form, what will we do? It will give that bootstrap and CSS form that in the purpose. It's backend part, but it will be very helpful while deploying in the servlets. Similarly, we are remaining with add librarian method. we created add librarian form, but we haven't created add librarian method first. So let me create that part also, add librarian, mention it to the web.xml. Let me close this first. Let me check this, then import dao.star, import bin.star. So now I'm importing everything here. Now let me use some default thing here. Okay. So now we are done with this add librarian. And why am I importing this part, you will understand. While deploying this in librarian HTML and everything, we need to invoke that part, and we are using that method with librarian bin and bin everything in DAO save bin also. So this is all about how we can create. So add librarian form is already created. Admin login is also created, but delete book is haven't created yet. So let me create one delete book method, because we mentioned that we are going to delete edit also, issue book also. With logout admin also done, but logout librarian is haven't we never created. So we need to mention some delete, edit, and issue book part first. So let me create one delete book method here. Servlet again. This is delete book, click finish. Then if you going through your ID, you will understand everything. Let me delete this first. If you want, you can keep that part, but I already mentioned that you can create some code already and you can use that again and again. Let me import DAO method, because for this we are creating that delete book part, and let us create that delete part. Again, this is basically servlets only. This is no longer required because it's not overriding and etc. So you can do that. And let me check where is the view book. So view book we haven't mentioned yet, so we need to create view book method also here. But before this, we need to create some view book also. So let me mention all the things here. So why I'm mentioning this servlets, because it's inside the servlet. If you check this add librarian, you have to check all the things here. In the Java also, this is HTML only, so no need to mention this. Always give the fully specified names here. So similarly in the DB, I'm going to create some view book methods also. So this is done, but delete librarian method is remaining. So in the next part, I'm creating only this, and I'm going to explain this delete and everything. So let us create one delete this part also. So why I'm not mentioning this again and again, because it's very simple logic. Okay, now I'm telling you what is this delete book is do. It do get and everything. It will get request dot parameter using call number basically from that delete part, and it will give to the create servlet, and it will display on the view book part. So this is all about these things. So let me delete first this also. So what I'm doing is just I created all the parts, but I need to mention the methods inside the servlets because it's a controlling part. So let me accept this also, because inside the DAO only I mentioned all these things. So I'm using DAO method again and again. And view librarian method is also done, but okay. So again, this will be delete librarian method using similar methods. So in the further things, I'm going to create edit librarian form, issue librarian form, logout librarian login, then some written book form, view book form. So I will explain it in the next video. I will directly use that templates and everything in this video, and I will explain it this part in the next video. So hope you understand this part. What I did is I just created DAO and bean method, which is purely basic on that part or logic. But in the servlet method, I'm creating some controlling part because we mentioned everything, but I'm fetching all the data in the servlets only, and I'm mentioning that in the, and I'm using logic of DAO and bean packages inside servlet. So this is it for this tutorial. In the next thing, I'm going to mention you, and I'm going to tell you how I used everything here, and I will create some web pages also here. So this is it for this tutorial.